Hey guys, and welcome to the 3-star character spotlight. So, for this series, I'm going to be covering all the 3-star characters that are obtainable from the gacha and 5-star capable. And the reason for this is because if a 3-star is not 5-star capable, then realistically you don't really want to be raising them, as they're not going to be able to do as well as other 3-stars that are. In the future, though, some 3-stars that are currently not 5-star capable, as well as some 4-stars, may receive buffs from Gumi to make them 5-star capable. So if you have a favorite unit that is currently not 5-star capable, just cross your fingers and pray. Anyways, today we're going to be covering Decel and Annerose, the light and dark 3-stars that you can obtain from gacha. So let's start off with Decel. Decel is a light 3-star with a leader skill Cryptic Blind Resistance level 1, which raises blind resistance by 5% for the whole party. So I really can't see this being useful at almost any point in time. Maybe if they release like a blind dungeon, and even then there's probably going to be a Cryptic Blind Resistance level 2 or 3 by then. So you don't really want to be using Decel for your leader skill. His available jobs are Mage, Thief, and Chemist. So the first two jobs are alright. The Mage job is probably one of the best of the bronze tier beginner jobs, as it provides powerful firepower with elemental coverage. It does fall off a bit later, but it also does provide a basic mage job that gives you elemental coverage for other jobs. The Thief job is coveted because of the move +1 passive that it gives. This allows low mobility jobs such as Mage to gain extra movement, which is very useful when you have a base movement of 2. Unfortunately for Decel, his third job is Chemist, which really doesn't synergize with the offensive nature of his first two jobs. Yes, he could be a little bit more mobile than most chemists by using the Thief passives, or he could be a mage that also tries to heal, but realistically he wants to be focused a bit more offensively. And unfortunately, due to the low tiers that Mage and Thief are, Chemist does not allow Decel to be a high tier character just because Mage and Thief need something extra to make them viable. Thief as a job, you never want to use main job just because Thief sucks as a job. Thief's entire purpose is to give move +1. Mage is acceptable as a job early, but you really want a Sage or some other high tier type of spellcaster job once you get to the higher levels. And Chemist, while it is a useful job, is unfortunately for Decel his job 3. If by some weird quirk of nature you have not managed to pull a single Reagan, Elizabeth, or enough Michaels to allow Decel to be a chemist at job 3 and not have a single of these guys that can also be chemists or professors, the upgraded version of chemist, then I suppose Decel could be useful, but the odds of that are very slim, and each of those 3 are better at the job than Decel is. So really, the only thing Decel excels at is his mediocrity. He's an alright mage, but he's outshone by Michael, Vanekis, and maybe even a few of the lower tier 4-stars as well. His Thief passive does allow him to get the move +1, but in the end, being a 3 movement mage is still not a great place to be. And by the time you can get his job 3 chemist, you have better options available to you for support characters. So, in conclusion, Decel's not a great pick. You can use him if you really love him, but I would not recommend it. Now on to Annerose. Annerose is the only dark natural 3-star available from the gacha that is capable of becoming a 5-star. There are other 3-stars capable of becoming 5-stars that are dark, but they are not gacha units. So Annerose's leader skill is Cryptic Fervor, which raises the magic damage of the entire party by 5%. Unfortunately for Annerose, this, combined with her job 1 being Mage, makes her the inferior version of Mia, a dark natural 4-star with a 10% version of Cryptic Fervor, which is double what Annerose has. It doesn't get much better for Annerose in later jobs either, as her job 2 is Crafter and her job 3 is Bishop. Annerose really just does not know which direction she wants to take her talents in. She has Mage at job 1, which is a decent offensive job. She has Crafter at job 2, which is... It's an okay range job. You mostly want it for its passives though, as basic Crafter has access to some fairly powerful skills, and the boosters are appreciated by a lot of units. And then Bishop is a powerful, well, at least it's not a weak, supportive job. It's a better version of the Priest basic job that Melia starts with, and it's good for healing your units. But none of these really synergize together. Mage wants offensive passives to complement it and allow it to get into position better, such as the Thief and Ninja passives, as well as to reduce the charge time on its abilities, such as the Enchanter passives. Crafter would like a more powerful offensive job than Mage to take advantage of its basic skills as well as its passives, and Bishop would like the same things as Mage would, but for supportive purposes rather than offensive purposes. So, unlike Decel, who's just mediocre, Annerose just has no idea what she wants to be in life. She really just looks in 3 different directions and doesn't go towards any of them. And that's why you really should just not use Annerose, unless you really like her character design and want to make her a main part of your team. But once again, just like Decel, both Annerose and Decel will require a lot of commitment if you want to use them at high levels. Luckily, they're both 3 stars, so you should pull a decent number of them, so limit breaking shouldn't be too difficult. But in terms of actually using them, it'll be a different matter. Their best builds are for Decel, you'll want to use him as a mage with the Thief subpassives, or as a chemist with the Thief passives, as either a supporter or offensive. Personally, I'd use him as a chemist just because as a supporter, he can support more powerful units. Unfortunately, he doesn't have access to Chronomancer, which is one of the better supporter jobs right now, and he's not a forecaster or any of the other more powerful supportive classes that will be released down the line. As for Annerose, I would probably just use her as a bishop with crafter subpassives, as at least similar to Decel, she can be supportive that way and support better units. However, neither of these will be available to most players right now or right off the bat, as these are both her job 3 using job 2 passives. As a result, once again, they're both fairly bad units. There are decent natural 3 stars, but Annerose and Decel are not one of them. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the 3-star unit reviews. Subscribe if you like it, and have a good one.